So hey guys, I've been thinking about this for a while, but hey, wouldn't a rank 4 like engine be really disgusting nowadays? So we have actually just a ridiculous amount of disgusting, in my opinion, uh, rank 4s. So let's just go through it, I guess. So if we start with the most degenerate one I can think of the top of my head, it would probably be, well, this one. So Flame Banshee. Flame Banshee can be used to add nemesis flag, which then can be used to add either Protos, Eschatos, or Corridor, which leads you into different things. But essentially, these are all floodgates. So this one is Colossus. This one is going to be Protos. So this can call Dark or Fire or whatever else you want to call, depending on how you kind of got into this line. And then we have Eschatos, which is able to call on type. So here we can call, I guess, Dragon. We can call Pyro. We can call just whatever, I guess. Kind of like depends on what decks are being played, but just in general, I think the best one probably going to be like Corridor, or Protos is going to be generically the best, I think. Just in general, right? But if we want to be like pretty consistent with it, I think Corridor, Summon, Colossus affects like the majority of decks in some way, shape, or form. Like even if you're playing Teal'c, you want to resolve Rhoda for Rhino, and Solic searches when it's sent to the graveyard, so it definitely does something, right? If we call Dark, this actually, what does it stop? It stops Kikkelis from being able to be special summoned, I guess. I don't remember what attribute Rhino is, or not Rhino, Kaleido. Is this even a Dark? How spell? Is it like this, actually? Okay. Kaleido is a Dark, yeah, okay. But Rukelis specifically is a water, for whatever reason. But alright. So, to varying effectiveness, just depending on what we're playing against, I guess. But if we call Dark against, like, I guess, Snake Eye, Fire King, Rescue Ace, any of those decks, not gonna do us, well, not gonna do us many favors. We'll put it that way. But yeah, we can essentially do this off of, well, it's not exactly just summoning Flame Banshee doesn't fully get us there, but it gets us most of the way there, I would say. We still would need a Banish monster to shuffle back into the deck with flag. So, yeah, we would still need that, but this isn't the only rank 4 in the game, right? There are other options. So we have Gallant Granite. So Gallant Granite can search us a card as well. So in this case, we can special summon a rock monster from our, or we can add one rock monster from our deck to the hand. So I don't know. We'll just keep it simple and just add, like, we can add technically any of these three, I guess. These are probably the most realistic targets. We have Lord of the Heavenly Prison if we have like some back row. We have Nibiru if we want to just, I don't know, nib our opponent if they're somehow able to play through whatever we do. So technically an option, I suppose. And then we have the most degenerate rock monster I think you can really realistically add. Fossil Dino, I guess. Or why did I type in Fossil Rock? Brain. Fossil Dino. So that's just a floodgate. Not much else to say about that. But you'd probably need like a special summon or be able to pen summon to get Fossil Dino also on the field. So probably not going to super come up, I don't think. But I mean, it is definitely a card that you can add off of the Gallant Granite. Other rank 4 cards, we have a few more. But there are some pretty nasty, just generic rank 4s out there. Or somewhat generic rank 4s. So, Crook is not that makeable. Stealth Kraken, not that makeable, requiring water monsters. What is makeable though? Baguska. You know, before we can start playing the game next turn, you know what? Maybe I will just start by Baguskaing my opponent, you know? And we can kind of use Baguska in this way still. Even if we can't activate like whatever's on our end board, you know, it's fine. What's my opponent gonna do about it? Not much, I guess. Redoer is just kind of like a bit too fair for my liking, so we're not going to be doing that much with this. Magician. Did I get the right amount? No idea, but alright. This could just be used to make like Utopic Draco Future, I guess. And a Utopic Future XYZ monster that has this card gains the effect here. Which is not that useful, but it is for sure an effect. Yeah, for sure. And, well, I'm having trouble finding the last card I'm looking for because there are a lot of rank 4s, I guess. But in terms of kind of like disgusting rank 4s, I guess we can just simply run the Ulsworm cards. So we have Evil Swarm Nightmare. This is pretty good, actually. So this is just like 2 Book of Moons, which is not bad at all. And then we have, I guess, if you could make this, level 5 or higher monsters cannot be special summoned is pretty nasty. But probably not that important, right? And then, what was this say? Huh. This card's pretty degenerate, alright. And then we don't really need any of these guys anymore, right? And then I think technically we might be able to do this. Depends, but whatever. XYZ Requiem, or Dark Requiem XYZ Dragon. So this is essentially just XYZ Appaloosa, more or less. This effect right here negates activation. Yeah, so pretty much the same thing as Appaloosa. If we could get that onto the board, that'd be pretty nice. But if we get like XYZ locked, somewhat hard to do, I guess. But I guess if we were to break this down, just to kind of make this a bit funny, I guess we'll break down to these guys. We could replace this with Nib instead, but not really a fan of nibbing my own board. So I think the ZS guys are pretty good, but also good would be, or what would be good is like an Astraltopia. So Astraltopia, if we control any XYZ monster, we'll be able to grab a copy of Numbers Protection, and this just requires us to control any Numbers monster. So if we were to pair this with Baguska, it's Baguska with an Omni Negate, unironically, so just we can do that, I guess. And then, well, we would have, I guess, if we were to really spam out a bunch of level 4 monsters, let's see how far we could get. So let's say we can probably only pick one between Baguska and Evil Swarm Nightmare, I think. Probably, if we were trying to be a little bit realistic. So there's that, I guess. So we'll probably be able to make Utopic Draco Future, I think. That's probably somewhat reasonable to do. So we can do like Infernal Flame Banshee, summon Ga Magician. I don't know if it's reasonable to slap a Dark Requiem on top of all of this, but at that point, like, Baguska is kind of just unlimited monster negate, so just having like 3 monster negates is not necessarily that good, unless we're against the Link deck, in which case, like, it's a bit situational which one is better. But alright. If we were able to spam out enough rank 4s and perhaps do a little bit of banishing and we open Astraltopia, we can expect to see like an Omni negate here. If we have a numbers monster, I think the numbers monster that we're going to be choosing is going to be either like the Utopic Future over here. This counts as a number, right? Does this not count as it? Oh wait, it says number right there. Yeah, this counts as a numbers monster. So we have Utopic Draco Future on our end board alongside like Colossus and maybe one other thing. Seems somewhat reasonable, I guess. Not that absurd, I suppose. If we could put another Thunder monster aside from Corridor, we could actually just use Corridor as a we could use Corridor as a level 4 for our XYZ plays, actually. This is a 2, right? Yeah, okay. So potentially we could even do like a Sprite Elf play as well, because this is a 2. That's kind of doable, I suppose, to make some of these guys not targetable. So that would be really annoying, actually. But Guska plus Elf, I would hate to deal with that. Yeah, absolutely hate to deal with that. But also, does that mean we could probably maybe play the Nemesis cards? Their levels are actually pretty trash. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Well, alright. So, main thing that I'm going to take away here is Baguska is like probably the strongest rank 4 in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! As long as my opponent is not playing Link monsters. So, yeah. Baguska Pass, literally unbeatable. Well, almost, I guess. Well, actually, So this is going to be really stupid, but maybe we'll save this for another video. But what if we special summon a copy of what's his face? I'll need a moment for this one. What was this card's name? Gachiri. Okay, Gachiri. If we special summon a Gachiri and then we link this off, this has this effect right here. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one face-up monster. You control that target is unaffected by your opponent's card effects until the end of your opponent's turn. So this would give you like a Tower Z kind of like Baguska, which I think is kind of funny, right? So you wouldn't be able to like drop with this, you wouldn't be able to imprint this, you just have to get Baguskered on. If you could recycle the Gachiri, that would be even more annoying. I mean, could we though? Huh, probably. We'll have to work on that list another time, but alright. In general though, yeah, I think we have a lot of pretty disgusting rank 4 cards that we can make here. The most notable ones I think are going to be the Flame Banshee and the Galling Granite. I'm not 100% sure why this card was added to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, but I'm just going to assume like this is somewhat supposed to maybe replace like Lavalval Chain. I have no idea how you're supposed to make Lavalval Chain in Laval, but yeah, you know, it's a generic rank 4 and it vaguely relates to Pyros, so I'm just going to assume it has that kind of purpose because it's also able to send the Pyro to the graveyard. So if we're playing like Lavalval Chain, I'm assuming that's what you would want to do. But I mean, the card adds Flag, and then Flag just, yeah, becomes a bit problematic. And you can technically also add Poplar, and then just full Snake Eye combo off of that, so, Not sure how I feel about this, but alright. Astraltopia is kind of like good tech for this, I guess. Speaking of which, I think maybe if I have some decks that can kind of do this, maybe Astraltopia is worth playing. I'll have to look into that later, I guess. I guess Astraltopia, for example, can send like the cards you add off of the XYZ armor cards. So yeah, definitely need to at least do a little bit of thinking about that stuff. But for the time being, I can't think of too much else to do aside from like Baguska Pass. I think I've been corrupted too much. So yeah. that's all I got for you guys today. And engine-wise, I can't think of any rank 4 engine that can spam out a lot of rank 4s without locking you. So we'll have to take a look at that in the future, I suppose, and try to build a deck able to kind of put out the Synboard, because yeah, I don't think the Synboard is even like slightly remotely easy to make within reason, right? Like maybe it's like a 3-card combo, but I mean 3 cards are a bit much. If we could get it down to around 2 cards to put just 2 or 3 of these XYZ monsters onto the board, I think I'd be happy with that, I guess. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.